From Life, Law, and Lattes, this is Before Forever, a guided conversation series exploring the questions couples should ask before marriage or long-term commitment. Because strong relationships are built on more than love. They're built through honesty, alignment, and intentional conversation. Now here's your host, attorney, author, and life strategist, Nadia Gilks.
Hello and welcome back to Life, Law, and Lattes, and our Before Forever series, where we're exploring one meaningful conversation at a time. I'm your host, Nadia Gilks, and whether you're listening solo, with your partner, or quietly sending this episode to someone you just want to hypothetically check it out, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Before we dive in today, just a quick reminder, if you'd like to follow along with the free Before Forever Reflection Workbook, you can download it anytime from the resources page on my website at elegalcafe.com/resources. It's there to help you reflect, pause, take notes, and continue these conversations long after the episode ends. Now, there was a time when people used to say, never discuss politics at dinner. But today, politics aren't just dinner table conversations anymore. They influence values, identity, parenting, social issues, finances, education, even how people interpret right and wrong. And for some couples, those differences create balance, while for others, they create a great deal of tension that quietly grows over time. This episode is part of our core identity and values section because worldview shapes how we move through life, not just politically, but emotionally, socially, and relationally. So today's question: how do you feel about a bipartisan household? Now, before anyone panics, we are not debating politics on this episode. This episode is about understanding how differences in worldview affect the way you function as a couple. Because political differences often reveal deeper things, like how you view authority, how you handle disagreement, what issues matter most to you, what kind of future you envision. And sometimes people assume we don't agree politically, but it's not a big deal. Until election season comes around, or social issues hit too close to home, or family gatherings become really tense, or your children start asking questions. And what once felt minor now starts affecting the atmosphere of the relationship itself. I've seen couples navigate political differences beautifully. They respect each other, they stayed curious, they made space for disagreement without making each other the enemy. But a lot more often, I've seen situations where political identity became so personal that every disagreement felt like a character attack. Not because the issue itself was always huge, but because people often attach morality, intelligence, compassion, or values to political positions. So the real question becomes, can you disagree without devaluing each other? Take a moment to think about how your worldview shapes your everyday life. Again, not just politically, but practically. How do you respond to disagreement? Do you value harmony, or do you love the debate? Are there issues that feel flexible to you and others that are non-negotiable? And as you think about your relationship, ask yourself, can this relationship hold space for difference? Or does one person always feel pressured to stay quiet to keep the peace? Silence is not the same thing as alignment. Now let's pause for our legal latte moment. Political and worldview differences may seem abstract until they begin influencing real life decisions. Things like where you choose to live, how you raise your children, what schools you choose, healthcare decisions, financial priorities, even how involved extended family becomes in your household dynamic. And while courts don't typically care who someone voted for, they absolutely see the impact when couples cannot communicate respectfully through disagreement. The inability to navigate conflict well, that's where real damage often happens. This conversation is not about winning or converting or proving that someone is wrong. It's about understanding, can we respect each other, even when we don't see the world the same way? Can we create emotional safety in the middle of a disagreement? Can we build a relationship where both people feel heard without constantly feeling judged? Because healthy relationships are not built on identical opinions, they're built on emotional maturity, respect, and the ability to navigate differences without destroying connection. If this episode made you feel uncomfortable, good. Not because conflict is the goal, but because awareness matters. Sometimes the strongest relationships are not the ones that avoid hard conversations, but the ones willing to have them honestly. If you're following along with the Before Forever Reflection Workbook, this is a great place to pause and reflect a little more deeply. You can download your workbook on the resources page at elegalcafe.com and use it throughout the series. Remember, differences don't automatically destroy relationships, but avoiding meaningful conversations about those differences, that can. Next time, we're talking about something many people carry quietly into relationships: emotional wounds, past pain, and how childhood trauma can unexpectedly show up in adult partnership. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe wherever you're listening. Share the series with someone else and invite them into the conversation as well. Until next time, keep creating the love you want to live in.
You've been listening to Before Forever, a guided conversation series from Life, Law, and Lattes. Download the free Before Forever Reflection Workbook at elegalcafe.com/resources. And until next time, keep asking the questions that matter.